This video idea might be kind of a bigger concept than someone like me could be able to tackle, but I'm going to talk about it because I think this topic is kind of relevant. It's actually pretty irrelevant now, but I still think it's very relevant for many reasons. Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4. What a game. Resident Evil 4 is one of the biggest games ever made. Like, it's one of the most influential games ever made, and it's one of the most talked about games of all time. It's mentioned throughout history.
Left 4 Dead, yo. The way them bitches get all cranial when you cap them in the head, it's like, booyah!
No, man. Resident Evil 4 takes it by a long shot.
Please, brother, you front.
It does not get any better or scarier than Resident Evil 4. This is already the lead contender for Best Game of 2005.
In the past 20 years, I would say there's a few games that come along that really change the way that people see video games or take games to the next level. And Resident Evil 4 is definitely one of those games. I would even say modern games like, Counter-Strike and Fortnite and even like Modern Warfare 2. Very influential games. I don't know if some of those games are crazily influential. I mean, Fortnite is definitely crazily influential because of the sort of battle royale. It is one of the most influential games in the industry. If that game came out and at the time it being kind of like just a small game, yet every big name company implemented a game mode very similar to the game Fortnite, then it's one of the most influential games. It peer pressured every gaming company to do what that game was already doing, which is kind of a wild concept. It's almost like that game bullied the top dogs into making game modes in their latest iterations of their games. It's kind of a funny concept, Fortnite bullying the industry. Fortnite. Alright, this is going to be the new video. We're scrapping the Resident Evil 4 video. This is how Fortnite bullied the entire industry. I don't even play Fortnite. Last time I played Fortnite was in 2017. I don't even know if it's the same game. But seriously, Resident Evil 4 changed the industry. What I mean by it changed the industry, it's kind of like people already know this. People already know that Resident Evil 4 changed the industry, but I'm kind of talking about something different. It paved the way for the things that we see today in online entertainment and media. I mean, first and foremost, it was the first real theatrical type game in the Resident Evil series. Every game prior to Resident Evil 4 had some type of basic story, but they were trying to go bigger and badder and better with every iteration. From 1 to 2, you can almost say that Resident Evil 2 was like a fairly cinematic experience compared to the first one.
Resident Evil.
This is the ultimate life form. Tyrant. Chris? Stop it.
Wesker, you're pitiful.
Just the way that they had the updated cutscenes, the intro cutscene being one of the greatest intro cutscenes ever.
That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
But it had way more of a story focus compared to the first one. And then with 3, it was very similar. It was like almost the same game, but just a different story. Had updated mechanics and such and so on and so forth. But the story was still fairly simple. Get out of the city is like the overarching story. They kind of pushed the boundaries with Code Veronica being technically the next iteration. Code Veronica was supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but due to some type of a game was supposed to come out, they wanted a third one to come out, so they made Nemesis 3 and they made Code Veronica, but Code Veronica was supposed to be 3, which it kind of makes sense. There's some elements in Code Veronica that almost make you think that this is the third game. But there wasn't as big of a shift of games as Resident Evil 4 was. And by this point, the old Resident Evil formula was kind of getting old. You had like 5 or 6 or 7 games out by that point with the same formula. You had 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, Outbreak File 2. Gun Survivor was a little bit different, but it was still essentially the same type of game.
I've worked on a number of Resident Evil titles in the past, and honestly, I think the series had been recycling the same patterns, the same gameplay each time. The creators were starting to get bored with it, and many moved to other projects. So I spoke to Mikami-san, the director, and we talked about reshaping the series and winning back the fans, as well as winning over new fans who thought they would never play a Resident Evil game.
So they knew they had to do a big shift, maybe not too big of a shift, because if they did that big of a shift, Devil May Cry would be Resident Evil 4. They went too far above and beyond what the IP Resident Evil was. So they had to, the game that they were making at the time, they had to just call it something else. They had to call it Devil May Cry because it was just too over the top.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
But 4, they still kept it to its roots. They kept it fairly simple-ish, like combat-wise. There's no like superpowers really in Resident Evil 4, unless you count like Krauser and some of the bosses.
Witness the power!
You've lost it completely, Krauser.
I guess they have kind of infected superpowers. It is what it is. But Resident Evil 4 was very cinematic. It had implemented black bars on the screen to simulate this cinematic experience, like you were watching a movie. And the game really does feel like a movie, like from beginning to end. And that's sort of the big influence that other games had from Resident Evil 4 is to make a game a little bit more cinematic, to have the action be something memorable, and I would say game-changing, and it is game-changing in a lot of ways. I mean, it's the way that the game looks is just very fantastic. The graphics are amazing, especially for 2004, 2005. The gameplay loop of the enemies kind of walking towards the screen and you shooting the enemies is very, very fun, and it was very different at the time. So of course it had a big influence on like the entire industry and like third-person type games, third-person shooters, third-person horror games, action games, you name it. Resident Evil 4 has its mark on those games. I think the biggest one, like the direct influence to like a modern, or not modern, but a next-gen game after Resident Evil 4 would probably be Dead Space. It's very obvious, the influences from Resident Evil 4. When Dead Space came out, they pretty much, I remember at the time they called it Resident Evil 4 in space. And it kind of is. Very fun game. Dead Space is like a certified classic at this point. But Resident Evil 4 not only influenced in a gaming industry, but it influenced media in the entertainment industry. It influenced the way that YouTube and Twitch operate like today. Resident Evil 4 came out in what, 2005? Around this time, 2005, 2006, YouTube had just launched on the internet, and people started to like kind of upload little videos here and there. At the time, there was a lot of different platforms to watch internet videos on. There were things like Newgrounds and funnyjunk.com and like MySpace and different websites to watch like a funny video here and there. But YouTube came along and kind of changed the game, but not really. It was just like, at the time, it was just another website. It was like an exclusive website for videos to upload to the internet, whether it be like a home video, a clip of something, a music video, pretty much anything. It was kind of like free range just to upload a video to have an internet video, a video on the internet. And there was, I don't know who the first one is. I couldn't tell you who the first person was, but at the time, gameplay videos were very bare bones and very minimum. There were people at the time that started to think like, well, I've got this new game. The most popular game at the time is Resident Evil 4, one of the biggest games of all time, and this YouTube platform and this video camera. I got to do something with this. And I don't know what the first video game walkthrough on YouTube was, like gameplay video, but Resident Evil 4 solidified its place on YouTube as like one of the original video game gameplay walkthrough type videos.
Yeah, don't play this game at 3 in the morning. It has its effects after a while.
Son of...
Alright, grenade, through the window, grenade! Ah, shit, I missed. Fuck.
planning.
There he is, hello.
Chainsaw.
That's his way of greeting people. Hello there, nice to meet you. Alright, goodbye.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
The first time I played this game, when I heard him say that line about the bingo, that right there completely just killed all coolness for Leon. Where's everyone going? Bingo? No, they're not going bingo, asshole.
Like, we got an entire platform where people live stream themselves playing video games. You've got the website of YouTube where everyone's playing some type of game and talking over it. What were the origins of these types of videos and this type of content? Resident Evil 4 is one of the pioneering games of these like walkthrough gameplay videos with someone talking over it, playing the game, and just like recording it and putting it on YouTube. So for YouTube, Resident Evil 4 is one of the most important games on YouTube ever, because it was one of the first games that when people had the idea to make a gameplay video and to put it on YouTube, the most popular game at the time was Resident Evil 4. I don't know if people lived through this era. I did, personally, where the technology was very primitive. They didn't have like capture cards or like Elgato or OBS or whatever. They had like HD recorders that was supposed to be for like video recording software for, instead of using a VHS tape to record a TV show or a movie, there was like this HD DVD recorder that you could have, like, you could burn it on a disc, and then you could use the video file on the computer on the disk drive and then extract it and then upload that as the video. It was very primitive, but what a lot of people did, they got like some type of like digital camera and then they aimed it at the TV, and then they just talked over it and recorded the gameplay straight through the TV. And that's like the origins of like video game like walkthroughs and gameplay videos. It's kind of odd because I'm sure that a lot of modern gameplay YouTubers or Twitch streamers that are doing what they're doing have no idea that the origins of that is like some person with a digital camera pointed at a screen playing Resident Evil 4, uploading it to YouTube because that's their favorite game and they wanted to make a walkthrough of the game. And now there's thousands and thousands of these content creators on YouTube and Twitch, and yet this was like the origin of it. I wanted to make a quick video about this because like I thought about it as people are arguing about Resident Evil 4, this and that, but a lot of people don't realize that Resident Evil 4 had an even bigger influence on the way that YouTube gained its traction and was popularized. And the reason why YouTube is as big and popular as it is today is because of the gaming, and the gaming like originated from OG Let's Players. And the same thing with Twitch. Well, I guess Twitch had like Justin TV and such, but like that content being like first discovered with those those RE4 playthrough videos, and then people branching off into different games and then doing different things. Like Resident Evil 4 Remake, like it's a good game, but it's not really that influential, and it didn't have the type of influence that the original did in terms of not just the gaming industry, but like the whole like online entertainment industry. Cut 20 years later, and all that you see for gaming content is people playing a game and commentating over it. So really, you know, what this video is about is Resident Evil 4 had a bigger influence than people may remember or may even know about. Not just in the gaming industry, but in the entertainment industry. You know, I wanted to highlight it. Whatever.